In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this Hush 100 Silent Air Compressor from Chicago Air. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Design, Creativity and Technology channel. My name's Aaron. Well, I've finally done it. I've dropped the coin and bought myself a silent air compressor. I got so sick of listening to my old one, caused me industrial deafness while I'm running my CNC machine. So I thought it was time to go out and splurge. Now, this air compressor is sold exclusively in Australia through a company called Sydney Tools. This is not a product placement ad. I actually purchased this one. Now, these compressors are, obviously they're a silent compressor. When they say silent, you can still hear them. They're not, whisper quiet, but they're a lot quieter than the old piston type that I had. My tank is approximately 100 litres, they specify. It has 6 motors and 6 pumps. Now, the pumps are paired up, so there's actually 3 banks of them, or 3 pairs. You can turn the motors on individually. There's 3 switches up here, and there's 3 circuit breakers as well. Now, from an empty tank to a full head of pressure, roughly took about 3 minutes on this compressor, which I thought was rather quick. We are talking about 100 litres of air. My previous air compressor is only a 50 litre tank, the old piston one, and it would take about nearly up to 5 minutes to build up 50 litres of air. So it's quite efficient when you look at that data there. The other thing I like is it's quite quiet as well. So some of the tests that I've been doing, granted that I'm not using a professional sound or dBA meter, I'm actually using my iPhone with an app on it. My dBA results vary from 1 meter away, so I'm getting anywhere from 70 dBA to 75 dBA. On an average, I'm about 73 dBA. Now, noise will vary depending how much air the compressor has in the tank. Now, as that air starts to fill up in the pressure vessel, obviously the motors and the pistons have to work that little bit harder to overcome the pressure in the tank, and that's when your noise levels will increase a little bit by a couple of dBA. So like I was saying, from my test, my dBAs range between 70 and 76, depending on the state of the tank at the moment. So power consumption, these seem to be a little bit thirsty for power. Running one motor is roughly about 500 watts. When I turn on the second motor over here, it's draining about 1,000 watts, and when I turn the third one on, it goes up sequentially about 500 watts per each motor. So now, from a standing start, to a fully charged tank of air, the highest amount of power drawage or power consumption I had was about 2,200 watts. Now, for a full cycle, so that's 3 minutes from nothing to a full tank of air, it actually used 0.098 of a kilowatt. Now, if that was to run for 1 hour solid, guys, over here in Australia, where I live in Melbourne, Australia, roughly we pay about, I think it's about 35 cents a kilowatt hour. So if it was to run for 1 full hour, it'd be about 35 cents, something like that. For one cycle though, however, I estimated it down to be about 1 cent for one cycle. Now, these costs I got online were via the online power energy calculator that they supply to you. So if I was to turn one motor on for you to give you a bit of an idea, so my camera is roughly about 1.5 meters away at the moment. So I'll turn one motor on for you. You can have a listen to how loud it is. You've got to remember that the audio I'm wearing is a lapel mic, so you'll be picking my microphone up from roughly about 0.5 meter. So if I stand back, it'll give you a rough idea. So here's the first motor. This is rather quiet. Second motor. And now we'll turn on the third motor. And it's still rather quiet, isn't it? For me, that's really great. I operate out of a little home shop here in a garage, and air compressors running start to really upset the neighbours. So I'll turn that off. That currently was empty, that tank. I'll turn on my old piston-powered air compressor, and just to give you a little bit of a difference, and I'm about 1 meter away from that. It's down here to my right or your left. So you can see there's a big difference in noise, isn't there? Now this oil compressor, that oil compressor is roughly around about 85 dBA. Now that depends also too whether it's from empty to full, but it's roughly around I tested about 79 to 81, and it did bounce up there a little bit higher when it starts to get full. Alrighty, so what we'll do now, I'll actually show you running the machine and running the CNC machine. We'll run a full range of tool changes, so we'll go from 12 tool changes and just see how well this actually runs, keeping up to my CNC machine. So if you like the video so far, how about doing me a big favor? How about clicking that thumbs up button? How about subscribing and clicking the bell notification so you can be made aware of more videos when they drop? A little bit about me, I'm a maker, mechanic, engineer, and I post all things about engineering, CAD/CAM, CNC machining, welding, manual machining as well. So why don't you click that subscribe button and follow along on my journey. So that concludes our review on this Hush 100 Silent Air Compressor from Chicago Air. If you'd like to know more about this product that I purchased, please feel free to drop me a comment down below and I'll get to you as soon as I can.